We see so many games released every day that it's impossible to check out every single one, so that's why I'm here. I'm that indie games guy, and we'll be taking a look over some hidden gems that you might have missed last month. These might be games that are fantastic, but not many people have spotted them, like this channel, so I say we deep dive into 12 hidden gems that we might have missed. Let me know in the comments below if you've played any of these games, and let the show begin. Now I'll say this game will definitely not be for everyone. I was first pointed to this game by a fantastic viewer, as I likely would have missed this one. This is Life Eater, and from the title alone you can probably tell it's going to get a little strange. You'll play as a kidnapper / serial killer who worships a dark and strange god. While you normally work a dead-end job, your true role in life is to complete annual rituals to keep the world from ending. Delaying the end of the world requires sacrifices. I'm talking cabin in the woods, where blood is the only answer. You'll need to stalk and record potential victims, as your god requires very specific humans. Use editing software to make sure you can find the right people, and make sure to abduct them before the police start to find your lair and stop everything that you've been doing. Life Eater is definitely showing us the other side of the coin. So many games and films show the good guys coming in and saving the day, but now we get to play as the quote unquote bad guy. But if it's to save the world, are we really bad? Or are we the only good guy around here? I'll let you think on that one. Being released out of early access and having its full release, we have a game that was a sequel to a more thriller horror made of Sker. But Wales Interactive decided it's time to bring out the guns and basically say a big F you to the weird creatures around this land, as it's time for our payback. This is Sker Ritual, a first-person shooter that is heavily inspired by the beloved Call of Duty Zombies game mode. That's right, we get to play wave-based games and I'm so happy about this. Sker Ritual is set after the first game, but worry not. You won't need to have played the first one to understand what's going on. The game is basically set after the evil ending from the first game, and the quiet ones have returned, but I'll tell you now, these creatures are creepy. There is something about them being more human-like that just puts a little bit more fear into your heart. Keep slaying the hordes that try to take you down, as some will drop lucky bonuses for you. Instead of insta-kill and a nuke, you'll be offered different perks to upgrade you as the hunter. Make sure to choose the right one to get you as far as possible. Sker Ritual can allow up to 4-player co-op, so why not bring along some friends to slay the things running at you. It'll definitely make life easier knowing someone is watching your back, but be careful, you'll probably have a lot of quiet ones watching your back from afar, so make sure you bring enough bullets, enough guns, and mostly enough courage to get you through to the end, as this place isn't going to let you go easily. Game titles can be the initial draw in for a game, something that makes the consumer curious or intrigued, and this one has definitely got me curious, intrigued, confused, and downright concerned for the main character. This is Ants Took My Eyeball, and I hope you're all as equally concerned as me. This is a stunning pixel graphics action roguelike that will have you jumping down into the anthill, battling hundreds of ants who are probably just as confused as you to see a human down here, and finally, the main task at hand, getting back your stolen eyeball from the evil ant army. This is a fast-paced action roguelike. The anthill will be different each and every time you head down into the darkness. You'll be able to use a variety of guns, melee weapons and gadgets to make sure it's Mark 1 to humans and 0 to insects. Make sure you search each and every room you stumble across. Unless you find better gear and equipment as your journey goes on, you'll find yourself obtaining a one-way ticket to the afterlife and click "Let me try again" to get this eyeball. Let's be honest here, maybe the ants deserve the eye more than you. Wait, what am I saying? Make sure you take all the ants out, as you can be the only one that can make your eye happy. Ants Took My Eyeball is all about fast action and ensuring that each and every run is something different. Make sure you enjoy those thrill rides, as once you've finally done it and got your eye back, I don't think life will ever be the same for our protagonist. If it was me, I'd probably offer my other eye, so I can do it all again in Ants Took My Eyeball 2, Revenge of the Queen. As the great Elton John once said, Hold Me Closer, ASTROLANCER. We'll save the galaxy together. I'm pretty sure that's how the song went anyway, and it leads perfectly into our next game, ASTROLANCER, where you'll have to save the galaxy. The song was pretty much made for this game. ASTROLANCER is a top-down shoot-them-up, which combines the old-school genres of aerial battles where you'll dodge bullets, and then battling along in a side-scrolling screen, once again dodging bullets. This beautiful game carries the 8-bit mantle with the retro vibes, but now with a modern twist. I remember playing these types of games in an arcade, and I always loved them, and this is just taking me right back. You'll need to destroy everything that is in front of you whilst also moving in any direction that doesn't have bullets incoming. That's the tricky part, and something I love about ASTROLANCER is the difficulty level. Instead of your normal, as the game gets harder, enemies' health bar doubles, this takes things a little differently. Damage, speed, and the volume of bullets increase with the difficulty, so you'll need to be moving a hell of a lot more when you turn this up to Mega. ASTROLANCER is a game for the top-down shooter veterans, but is also welcoming enough that anyone who hasn't tried one of these games before can feel welcomed and enjoy the experience. Make sure to take flight and wait until the seatbelt sign is turned off before you fight back. It seems more and more rhythm games are being released these days. I'm really happy about it. Who doesn't want awesome beats in the background while playing a game? I normally have Spotify on or will crank up the music within the game if I really enjoy the music. This is Remix, a roguelike rhythm bullet hell that's basically Vampire Survivors, but you attack to the beat, as you use the power of music to overcome any evil void monsters that stand in your way. Music is a great way for people to connect, which is why I'm a massive fan of rhythm games. It's crazy how many times I've suggested a game soundtrack to people, and I'll listen to a lot of songs from games daily. Remix is offering us a unique gameplay loop, where depending on which character you pick, you'll get different music played for you, so you'll have to learn the beat in loads of different ways. Make sure you move, attack, and just do about anything to the beat, otherwise you'll end up becoming food for the voidlings. The characters themselves are cute and cuddly. They've really given us that adorable sprite, and it just makes you want to know more about them, which is a plus. Remix is all about feeling the beat and making sure you don't drop it no matter what. Whilst the game does suffer from some localization in the translation of language, the music will be able to carry this one through, and hopefully you'll enjoy the game. Isometric point and click games don't come out anywhere near as often, and due to the lower volume of people looking at these games daily, you might end up missing them, and they are mostly a gem of a game. This is one of those gems. Next up we have Rauniot, a post-apocalyptic adventure that is set in 1970s northern Finland, and let's just say this straight out of the gate. This game is beautiful and crisp, from the background designs to the items you interact with. Act Normal Games have smashed it out of the park with this one, and it fully makes me want to see more of this world, this broken shell of a planet that is more beige than green. The setting of the world is really bleak. Most countries are underwater, others are so polluted due to nuclear reactors and nukes that if you did survive, the radiation is going to get you shortly. It's very Fallout but without the vaults. You'll play as Io, a young survivor who is lucky enough to be part of a surviving group, but unlucky enough to be tasked with a dangerous job that will require you to stay alert, seeing as most things can kill you quite easily. Rauniot is all about finding things out for yourself. Point and click adventures do a fantastic job of making it seem like you've solved the puzzle by giving you just enough information to solve it, and this will be no different. Puzzles will be the make or break of your game. Some will be easy, whilst others may take up so much time you become a victim to the wastelands. Seeing a game have 100% positive on Steam is a fantastic achievement, but seeing this number while also being reviewed by over 50 people, you must be doing something right. This is the Mildew Children, a 2.5D story-rich adventure, but with the extra of a visual novel. These aren't always people's cup of tea, but I often find myself really enjoying them, as the story normally is fantastic. The Mildew Children is a grim tale of a village, inhabited only by children who follow pagan traditions. Play as a young witch who, along with others, needs to complete a ritual to save the village. If that hasn't gripped you, then I just don't know what will. I think what I love about this game is the nod to old folklore or fairy tales. I'm sure most of us have read a book or watched a film about witches or pagan traditions. But the idea of playing it as a visual novel, I mean, firstly, do you play a visual novel? Anyway, it gets me more excited to see how this tale goes and what the game will do differently compared to what we might have seen already. This game is on the shorter side and could be completed in one sitting, maybe this weekend if you have nothing else to play. And we need more games like that, I think, to allow us to play a brilliant gem and then move along after feeling fulfilled by the game we've just played. The Mildew Children is giving us a witch delight. See how the tale will unfold, and if you're not too sure yet, you can play the first chapter for free. This game won't hold your hand, as you choose the path that you must take. Make sure you're ready to sacrifice everything and maybe everyone in this grim adventure. If you're like me and you grew up with YouTube going through all the stages of sketches and comedy, then you might remember I Like Trains. And the moment this game popped up, it just played over and over in my head. This is Trackline Express, a roguelike train survival game that is all about managing your resources, keeping the enemies off the tracks, and most importantly, making sure that that train of yours stays nice and clean. Who's a good train? This is a train building game. You don't see many of these around. Void Train could fit into the genre as well. The aim is to keep your passengers and train safe from barbarian attacks, missing train tracks, and ensure that you can pull up to the next station to pick up more happy passengers. The cycle of a train driver. You'll need to find resources as you slowly move along. Send your workers out to collect, as without wood or coal, this train ain't going nowhere. Need more help when defending the tracks? Drag a friend along with you to gather and defend, whilst you put your feet up and drive along the tracks, leaving them behind. Trackline Express is a fun and wacky game with graphics that fully give me carbot animations, and that's just what makes this game a gem. You don't normally see the more cartoony games that actually goes hard on the difficulty. This won't be like the Polar Express, this will be more like the Diablo Express. We had a stop motion game last week, which blew my mind after being developed for over a decade. Call me shocked to see another stop motion adventure for us all to go on. This time we'll be following the tale of Hansel and Gretel. This is Once a Tale. I'd actually be rather shocked if anyone hadn't heard the tale before. But this time we have a few twists that will invite a bunch of whole new extra characters, including the 3 little pigs and a lot more. You'll need to guide the brother and sister through a lush forest, but beware, this forest has recently had reports of a big, bad wolf lurking in the shadows, looking for their next prey. The stop motion just amazes me. The level of detail and dedication in the game will have you in awe of what people can actually do. You moving left or right on the screen will have had to be filmed over and over to perfect the animation of running on a certain environment. I'm seriously impressed with Once a Tale, and seeing a reimagining of the Hansel and Gretel story will invite in more gamers who will want to see this world again. Once a Tale didn't get the level of exposure as Harold Halibut, the other stop motion game released last week, but both these games should be able to stand next to each other and give themselves a round of applause, as this is taking the talent to another level, and I really do hope we see more of these games in the future. And that there is the end of the hidden gems released last week. We have some stunning games, and I wish we had all the time and money in the world to play them. Let me know if you'll be playing any of the games, or if you've seen any other hidden gems. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye bye!